never perceived as coming as an enemy. Europeans assume that anybody who doesn't look like me, doesn't walk like me, doesn't talk like me, is potentially an enemy, not a friend. So the response then is inevitably a defensive maneuver. So when the Europeans landed, they were treated the same as when the Africans landed. They said, come in. Now, this is not just the account that comes from the Native Americans, but this is their own account. They tell you that they would have starved the first winter if the Africans had not taught them how to grow food and helped them to feed and helped them to do what people did over here. They didn't acknowledge that. And then to show you the absence of any kind of fundamental moral conscience, they proceeded to kill the people who saved them, to steal their land, drive them out, and wipe them out. You see, now we are suggesting that the way that the Africans and the Native Americans greeted the Europeans was built into the fundamental value system that dictated that people should relate to people in a level of fundamental respect. Even though there was a difference in labor, a difference in responsibility, women and men were viewed as mutually respectable. There was not a secondary or second-class authority or dignity given to women, because women were people. And you never show African people in positions of power independent of a relationship with women, or a woman in position of power without independent of a relationship with men. So you see Ramesses sitting 4 feet tall in Abu Simbel in front of his mighty shrine, looking out over the Nile, sitting there as he's been sitting there for almost 6,000 years. Tall, bad brother. And right next door, there's the lady. The woman is there because there's an understanding that there is an inextricable connection between the two. Queen Hatshepsut represents herself as interrelated with the men who work with her in terms of her family, her children, her son, because she sees that her power as a ruling woman is inextricably tied in with her relationship with men. My point of it is that all relationships, not only with foreigners but with each other, were dictated by this fundamental respect that was there. So everybody, children had respect, elders had respect, even the insane had respect. You know, the way that Africans treat their ill, their mentally ill, is so different from the way that Europeans did. When Europeans went crazy, that isn't true, when Europeans acknowledged that some of them were crazier than the rest of them, what they did was to make as much distance and create as much a dehumanizing environment as they could. Put them in snake pits, throw things at them, make mockery of them, lock them away, because there was a real kind of sense that you don't act like us, so something is wrong with you, so therefore we want no parts of you. There was a sense that they had lost their right to dignity because they no longer acted right. Africans understood that if you weren't acting right, something must be wrong that can be made right. So there was an increased effort to be more human. The family came around you. The people who were the healers came to you. And they made music to begin to restore the harmonious rhythm that was in the environment. They began to beat drums and do dances that began to create a kind of a rhythmic aura that changed the vibratory environment that you were in, so that the disordered rhythms that had created the malady and health could be rhythmically, harmoniously laid out again. The community came together and they stayed there with you and they were a part of it with you. And then you went into the woods and you got the herbs, you got the leaves, you got the roots, you got the flowers, you got the berries, you got the nuts, and you brought them together and you stirred them together under the hand of a trained person and said, we will now alter your toxic chemistry in such a way by introducing a detoxifying natural chemical solution that doesn't dope you up, that does not turn you into a vegetable, that does not turn you into a deeper animal, but simply restores the harmony in the chemistry, so you can begin to be sane again. But you see, that decision of how to treat the sick was dictated to by the fundamental assumption that people must relate to people in certain fundamental ways. You know, I'm hoping as you follow this, you can see how crazy we have become. That the Colombian paradigm has us insane. And our memories of sanity are memories of grandmamas who did the same kind of thing. When they found out somebody was sick, they didn't ask what was wrong. They asked, what can I do? We have memories of families that pulled together under all circumstances and somehow understood that it is not about me getting my townhouse apartment and my new Bonneville and my new outfit so I can walk around and talk about I got a degree, but I got a brother and sister who's getting ready to go to Texas Southern, and I got to make sure they got tuition before I do anything else. You understand? You understand? That was the mindset. That was the mindset. That was the mindset that was preserved in spite of the Colombian imposition of the alien paradigm. Because in that pre-Columbian mindset, one understood, as you all have heard in it many times, I am because what? We are. There's a fundamental assumption that I am only because I am interconnected with you and you and you. That's right. I have no individuality, ultimately. That's right. Now, I got my own stuff. This is my shirt. Don't you take it off of me. But my shirt ain't me. You know, these are my shoes. Don't you take them off of me. But my shoes are not me. I've got a mind, but it's not mine. This mind belongs to African people. It was given to me by the essence and the representation of the divine forces in the universe and cultivated and developed by the ancestral African people who refused to give up no matter what and built a consciousness that gave me the intelligence to be able to address and look at the problems of our people, to begin to say, I am going to address the mental disorder. God gave you your voice to sing a song for us, not for you, to sing our song. Michael Jackson, African people gave you your dance steps, not Fred Astaire, not white folks. You dance to the African rhythms. You are supposed to dance for us. So I don't care what you do in your distinction. That's fine. I don't want to have your clothes. I don't want to have your car. I don't want to have anything that is not you. But your life I want. Your soul we need. Your mind we need. Your consciousness we need, because that does not belong to you. That belongs to us. The Africans understood that. The Africans understood that. So, you don't have the option to say, I don't have time to deal with African problems. You are our problem. You have the responsibility to take some part of whatever it is that you are to give to this process of restoring the African mind. That's why you are here. You have no other purpose. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how well you can sing. I don't care how much money you think you got. Your purpose for being here is to service us. That's right. That the entire process of elimination, the millions of African people who died, and the ultimate consequence of that being your presence, is not accidental. You are here for us. This is the African way. So your question is, what is there of me that I must give? You got to find out. If you're giving nothing, you know what? You dead. You are absolutely dead. Well, I came to the conference, but what else did you do? What did you do when the conference was over? Well, I bought the tape. What did you do that was on the tape? You know. Well, I got me a new African outfit. When do you wear it? When white folks let you? Or do you wear it when you're out there trying to change the structure? When you go to the school board meetings and say, you aren't going to teach this crap no more to my children. You may teach it to your children, but you will not teach it to mine. Do you show up with at least a dime to support the efforts of independent education that's trying to change the direction of our people? What are you doing for us? That's the ultimate responsibility. So the question of how and what we do is dictated by this relationship